No problemo. No problemo. Hello, hello. Happy Saturday and welcome to Activate Your Power Now. I'm Isabel Black, or Izzy, the Intentional Healer, and it is my honor to be here and serve you today. So our topic is true happiness. And with our Saturday events, that's our True series. And we've talked about this before. What does true mean in the True series? Well, for Activate Your Power Now, true stands for the reason you exist. So we go deeper than religion, we go deeper than politics, we go to the deep-rooted reason for existence. And at Activate Your Power Now, we believe that deep-rooted existence is love, peace, harmony, purpose, servancy. So that is what we unite for on typically the second Saturday of the month, or sometimes the third, just depending how it falls on the calendar. But we come to pour into you and to just share stories of what that truth means for us. And here at Activate Your Power Now, we don't believe in a right or a wrong. We just honor what is. And we honor that we all come with our different experience. We all come with our different truths. And we love to embrace that about each other, not cause division because of our differences. So, again, I'm Isabel Black, and I'm known as the Intentional Healer. So in order to get myself together right so we can properly serve, I like to take a minute and just take some deep breaths before we get started. So if everybody can please join me. If you're sitting, just plant your feet firmly on the ground, sit up straight. And we're going to do it 3 times. Take a deep breath in. This is a breath work that I don't know the official name for it. I started practicing it years ago. And this is part of my daily practice when I get overwhelmed or start allowing fear, doubt, and all those unserving emotions to enter my world. I pause unapologetically and I take these 3 deep breaths, or I keep going for as long as my body tells me I'm ready to stop. But typically a good 3-4 deep breaths, and I feel myself just back into alignment. So we're going to breathe in deeply for 4 seconds, hold for 7, and blow out for 8. When you blow out, just go ahead and take the next breath. So let's go ahead and do this together. And girls get presents too. Those over your shoulder, you got 3 accesses. Yep. The only thing that's kind of not bad is that the strap isn't, but it needs to hit here or to the side so it's not in your way. Yeah, no, yeah, those good. Well, I noticed because of the satellite, so you're always in charge of this or that. But definitely going to lose my wallet. So you got me in Spanish. Thank you. This practice literally has saved me many times from not opening my mouth when it's not serving, right? Not allowing my emotions to overtake me and for me to react to what's going on around me in my world. It allows me to just get more in the moment, and I get to feel things lodged within my body when I take those deep breaths that way. And just as I was doing it now, I actually felt, I took a 4th breath because I felt a lodging actually right in my hip. And with that breath, it I breathed it out. So when you practice this breath work or any breath work that you practice, keep doing it and be cognizant of the feelings that you're feeling through your body while you're breathing, because your body is talking to you. And with that breath work, that's a way to breathe in all that is good and breathe out all that is unserving. For some people who are at a different level of breath work, they actually are able to do the opposite. They're able to breathe in all that is unserving in their environment and transmute intentionally that energy, and they put it back out there as love. So it doesn't matter what side of the scale you are with breath work. I just encourage you and challenge you to use it as a daily practice, not just when your world's falling apart or when someone brings it to your attention, that it's something, a tool that can work for you. I challenge you to just really do it for 1 week. Just do it for 1 week. Every time you feel irritated, misunderstood, anything unserving in your world with thoughts, anytime you feel that, I encourage you and I challenge you to just pause, breathe, and allow Spirit to speak to you, because He will guide the next best step. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and get started with our speakers today. And again, like I said, we're talking about true happiness. So not just happiness as we know it, smile on your face, or the mask we put on when we go and face the world. I'm talking about that true, deep-rooted happiness where it's a state of existence, right? And nothing that happens in your world can take it from you. There's no one who can take it from you because it's yours. And the only way that it could not be in your possession is if you give it away willingly. So before we get started with our first speaker, which will be Gary Newsom, I want to go ahead and bring up a dear friend of mine, Stephanie Henny. I never say your last name right. Henny Hawken Hall. Stephanie is how I call her. We'll keep it at that. She's going to come up here. She's with Love Misunderstood Institute, and she has quite the story. And she is speaking next month at Activate Your Power Now, so stay tuned. But I'd like to invite her up, and she just has so many words of wisdom to share that I thought it was appropriate for her to come share some golden nuggets on today's topic, true happiness. So come on, join me. Well, thank you so much, Stephanie, for, first of all, for supporting Activate Your Power Now, for showing up today, and for being willing to be put on the spot like this, because I did not warn her or anything, but I know that she's so passionate about what she does that she would be more than willing to come up and share some of that with you, because it's that important. I'll let her go ahead and take over from here.
Well, they say you have to be ready, stay ready, so you don't have to get ready. So it's okay that, I was caught on the spot. I'm always prepared, I think. I want to say, for me, true happiness. I speak about bullying. I educate about bullying and how love is misunderstood when you bully others,
Right.
Or when you allow people to bully you. You have not understood love. I allowed bullying to happen to me, not even realizing that that's what was happening, because I didn't understand love and I was looking for love. And so because I was looking for love and I didn't understand what it was, I allowed the mistreatment. I was a people pleaser. And so people, when they want love, when they desire love, tend to please others.
Right.
Let me give you what you want. And then maybe you'll be nice to me and treat me better. So when it comes to true happiness, because people are going to treat you the way they want to, and you have to accept it or reject it, it's up to you. But true happiness is not being bullied, not being mistreated, not having a peaceful mind, being kind to others and treating others the way you want to be treated. And people don't think like that. They just think, let me do what I want to you and you just take it, especially those that are controlling and have a controlling mind and that are narcissistic, especially the narcissistic people.
Yeah.
It's all about me and what I want, how I want it. You just do it. And so happiness is not being miserable and not being unhappy, not misunderstanding love, but understanding what real love is. First of all, learning how to love yourself.
That's right. That's where it
Never
begins.
knew how to do that.
It all starts within at AYPN. That's where it's at.
Yes. Thank you for this. So I want to share a short little story. I had someone talking about misunderstanding love. I had someone that was very valuable in my life tell me one time, you desire so much love and expect so much love from people. And what he was saying specifically, you expect it from me. You tell me you love me all the time, and you don't have to tell me that all the time. I know you do. But you say it because you want me to say it. And I don't have to say it. I show you.
Wow.
So I said, how do you love yourself? And he said, I don't know. You just do it. That didn't help me at all. But what it did help, it didn't help me understand how to love. But what it did help me to understand is that it's time for you to learn what real love is. Learn how to love yourself so that you don't expect so much from others.
That's it right there. That's the secret sauce. Is learning how to love yourself. And I had to challenge myself above that loving myself. I had to learn how to value and honor myself. Because like you said, a lot of our understanding of love is misconstrued. So loving myself was a great start, but it wasn't the end all be all, because I still had a tainted view of love. So I was loving myself, but not loving myself properly. Their value wasn't there. The honor wasn't there. So I love what you do, and I love why you do it. And I can't wait for you to give us some more next month on bullying and learning to love yourself and understanding, getting a deeper sense of what love, the word love actually is. Because I met Stephanie before Activate Your Power Now. Our connection was actually through my business, Gigi's Natural Hippie Essentials. And she interviewed me on her show. And I had no idea what I was stepping into, but I knew that she was meant to be in my life before stepping into Izzy the Intentional Healer. Because just that phrase alone of her business, love, misunderstood, boom, clarity on so many broken relationships I have in my life with my family, with my exes, with so many things. I said, they haven't done me wrong. We have a misunderstanding of love. How do we grow through? And that made me want to help, not judge. So thank you so much, just for being in my life, for being in our life now, and just for all your love, support, and for your mission. So we're here to support you as well. So please let me know if there's anything we can do to help you along your journey.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you, Stephanie. Well, everyone knows we started a little bit late. And again, that's what Activate Your Power Now is about. It's about fluidity. It's about making the best out of everything that's going on in our life. This isn't a professional speaking platform. We are just so blessed to have professional speakers on this platform. But this is a healing platform. So healing comes in many different ways, it looks different, it feels different. But what we need to stop doing is judging each other for how we heal, for what we're healing through, and for the process of healing, because everything's meant with divine purpose. So let's celebrate what's going on in our life and start declaring the next step. We can be in control of that. And the next person I'm going to call up to share his great story on true happiness is Coach G, Gary Newsom, and he brings it every time. He always comes with a written message, first of all, and I'm not even sure why he's doing that anymore, but I totally get it. No, he's doing the right thing. But I love that he comes prepared and is always willing to throw the notes out and go by the heart, because that warrior spirit that he has, man, does he connect with the people, and does he make them feel like they are invincible to go face the world, and not just face the world, prevail, succeed in the world, right? That true happiness, that you are in control of, not anybody else. So I'm gonna go ahead and stay right here. I'm being prompted to stay right here. I was gonna get up and allow him to take the stage, but come on, Gary.
Hey, it's your boy, Coach G, here with Izzy, the intentional healer. And I had her stay because if we're going to talk about true happiness, the journey of a warrior by any means necessary. And for me, this would be episode happiness, true happiness. She plays a big part in my story in that. So I wanted to honor her. James is not here today, so I wanted to honor him too. But since my brother's not here, my sister gets all the honor. One of the things that I've developed or learned through the journey of a warrior, true happiness, is writing. So one of the expressions of happiness that's come out of me in this journey is writing. So yes, I brought paper because I wrote a speech, and I'm going to read the story here, but I'm going to get through this because I wrote it, and I'm proud now becoming a writer. But I really do want to speak on this topic from the heart. So true happiness can be summarized as a deep sense of commitment, contentment, and joy that comes from a relationship with God and a grateful heart. It is not dependent on external circumstances or material possessions, but rather stems from a genuine trust in God's love, guidance, and provision. Biblically, true happiness is often associated with living in alignment with God's principles and commands. It invokes seeking righteousness, loving others, and serving God faithfully. It is rooted in the belief that God is the ultimate source and fulfillment of true happiness. And it's found in living according to his purpose and his plan. Amen?
Amen.
A grateful perspective emphasizes the importance of gratitude and thankfulness in experiencing true happiness. It involves recognizing and appreciating the blessings and the goodness in one's life, regardless of the challenges or difficulties that you faced. Gratitude shifts the focus from what is lacking to what is present, fostering a sense of contentment and satisfaction. Did you guys get that? Did you get the shift? So in summary, true happiness is a deep, lasting joy that stems from a relationship with God, living in alignment with his principles, and having a grateful heart that recognizes and appreciates the blessings in life.
Amen.
So that's true happiness as the writer, Coach G. So I'm excited to be able to do that. I feel like I'm expanding in that, but if you know me, I got to speak from the heart. So on the journey of a warrior episode, True Happiness, I had to look deep in here. And when I look at this journey, it's been a journey of darkness. But I remember just a week ago talking to Izzy, and they were over at my house a week or two ago. And I talked about the shift that's happening in me right now. There's a shift from the dark now to the light. So now when I talk about the journey of a warrior, I'm not talking from a place of pain and hurt and sorrow. And not saying that some of that's not still there, because all of us need healing. We're all going to need healing until we reach heaven.
Yes.
Amen?
Amen.
But what's different now is I'm speaking from a place of light. I'm speaking from a place of power. I'm speaking from a place of anointing. I'm speaking from a place of whole and healing. So When I talk about happiness, when I go back and look at my story, I'm thankful, as my sister so eloquently spoke on. I think about all the situations that I've been through, all the pain that I've been through. But now I highlight the happy moments that were there the whole time. So I think about like my relationships with my sons. We're estranged to this day. They're not talking to their dad. And yes, that's sad, but I think about the memories that bring me so much joy, that bring me so much happiness that I'm excited about. It makes me think about happiness, makes me think about my granddaughters, my 6 little princesses, that every time I see their face, that's nothing but joy and happiness. It brings me such just peace, and overwhelming happiness overwhelms me. When I think about my mother and my father, all I can think about is happiness. Yes, I'm sad that they're not here with me today, but all I think about is happiness. When I think about being alone in this journey of a warrior, in a dark place, all by myself, sitting in a room with bad thoughts, destructive thoughts, suicidal thoughts, that now I have my mind. I have a right mind, the mind of Christ. That brings me nothing but happiness.
Yes.
That I sat in a place in darkness where I thought I had no future. I had no hope. You know, we say, Lord, order our steps. So I'm like, I had no steps for the Lord to order. How many of you been there? I had literally no steps to order. But now I sit in a seat of happiness because I have steps that the Lord can order. And I can say that statement, Lord, order my steps. Be that lamp unto my feet. Illuminate my path, because now I can see the path. I have a hope and I have a future.
And what brings you to, how do you connect to that part of you? How do you get there? To all the people who are still feeling that darkness, you said you took that leap into the light. You allowed God to illuminate your next step, but what did you have to do first?
So I had to look within. And I know we always talk about the Lord, and the Lord is the answer to all of our problems, and I believe that wholeheartedly. But what the Lord did for me was, he said, if you want true happiness, first of all, connecting with him, vertical relationship with him, because it all starts there. But once I connected with him, he infused me. He allowed me to look in the mirror and see me.
Right.
So now Gary Newsom, Coach G, looks in the mirror and sees true happiness in himself.
Going up in there,
because that's where it starts.
Get on in there.
How many of you guys, and it's me, and I'm not coming down on you, I'm speaking from a place of truth. I've spent my entire 52 years being and saying and doing everything that everybody else wanted me to be. And in that process, I lost self. I lost identity. I lost my true happiness. But now I sit in a place of happiness, a seat of happiness, because I know who I am. I know whose I am. I know my purpose and destiny. I know exactly what God created me to do, which brings me to Izzy. I'm so thankful that she allowed me to come into this space, her and James, and allow me in the beginning, because I was raw. It was pain. Every time I got up here, it was pain. And I'm not saying today is not painful. Some of my happy moments are attached to some very sad moments. But the happy moments, remember I talked about in my paper, I decided to make a shift.
Yes.
I shifted from the dark to the light. And that's a choice. We can sit in our dark places and feel sorry for ourselves and woe is me and have the pity parties. Been there, done that, baby. But it's time for that shift. Do you want happiness? God has made it available to you. And all you have to do is choose it. Choose. So I'm asking you guys today, will you choose happiness? Another happy moment for me I have to talk about is relationships. So I've had some really hard relationships in this journey. A hard marriage, lost a marriage that was 32 years together for 34, and several, a couple relationships after that. Had a relationship that was very dear and near to my heart, and that relationship ended in breakup. But I sit here in true happiness today because a bad moment, the greatest thing I think that happened in our relationship was that breakup. Because I've gained true happiness in that relationship because it taught us so many things. We healed, we understood, we came to a place of love and respect, an honor that we never had before. It brought us to a place where we stopped talking at each other and we started talking to each other. It brought us to a place where we loved and we shared from an open heart, not from a wounded heart and a broken heart. It brought us to a place of vulnerability that we could share our heart, knowing and trusting that our partner sitting across from us would hear our heart and not be triggered and then jump on the trigger and think that this person is saying this and that. How many of you are out there doing that? How many of you have missed out on true happiness because you've chosen to be stuck in the past, stuck in your triggers, stuck in your pain? You've chosen to be the pity party person. But I'm here to tell you today, on the journey of a warrior, I have chosen true happiness. And what true happiness has done because of that one choice, freedom.
Yes.
Freedom. And with freedom comes so many other things, you guys. I could be up here all day talking about that. But as I want to honor her, I want to honor you. And James, that's why I wish he was here, for giving me this space and this platform and giving me the ability, as you told me yesterday, to just be me. How many of you just need to be you? True happiness comes when you just be authentically and unapologetically you. This is your boy, Coach G.
Thank you. Wow. Think of so many things to say, but I'm like, Izzy, you're the MC, you're not speaking. But no, seriously, last month, Gary sat here in this chair and summoned his woman to arise. And because he called it, that was you declaring God to illuminate your next step, and boom, he illuminated it. And I feel like both of you are coming back, like you said, just better than ever with a knowing of what you want now. And it's beautiful to watch. It's beautiful to be a part of. I think it's the vulnerability that you bring is beautiful. I know that your partner is more private, so I think that's hilarious that you're still so vulnerable, because that's how we're going to really make these shifts together. Because if we're in a partnership, it's important that you move together. It's not that you need the clear understanding of where one another's headspace of where you're heading, but there's this deep-rooted understanding where you guys need to be pivoting together and supporting and extending that love. And just to watch what unfolded from last month to this month in your relationship has been a beautiful thing, and has actually inspired things within me and my marriage of 20 years to spark new things within us, because we get taken back to those oh yeah, we don't have that struggle now, but we had to get through that to get here. So to watch people practicing that, it's a true honor, Gary. We're just as honored to have you as you are to have us. This is us linking up, working together, covering more ground, right? Healing more people. That's what it's about.
Better together.
Yes, yeah. Better together. Before I bring up the next speaker, which is just going to take you on a whole ride. It's going to be so fun on true happiness. I want to say this because I ran a home daycare for 10 years. And I have to say that's, again, in different levels of activation in my life. During that stage, when I first opened my daycare in 2002, I didn't have an understanding of love. I didn't even have an understanding of the emotions that were going on in my body and my world, because I was so trained to suppress. Emotions are weakness. There's no such thing as love. And if you're going to chase it, then you're the fool. So, and love is not something that's talked. Love is something that's shown. So be love. Don't talk love. You know, all those things are deeply rooted in me. And when I started working with children, and I had to start teaching them their emotions, I literally was the student, even with little children.
Yeah.
I started learning how that balance works in life. And I'm so grateful for it, because what the authenticity that you get from me only comes from working with children. I got to see what unapologetically existing looks like. I got to see what truth looks like. And I say all that to say, introducing the next person, they don't get any more authentic than this. So get your heart ready, get your mind ready, get your pens ready. We got Miss Regina, Dr. Regina Platt coming up, and she's the stepologist. So she's gonna show you how to step in life and be a winner and keep that true happiness. So do you want to be standing, or would you like to sit?
I'm gonna sit down.
All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of the way.
He loves me. It's special, different. Your cologne and your hair, your smile, your intelligence. He moves me. He soothes me. Ignite me. He excites me. It is an honor to hold space with each of you today. And I just want you to gain space right in the place that you were in and allow yourself to be grounded and take a deep breath in. The air that you breathe, every moment, every inkling, and every second of air that comes within you, it is the essence of you. And I believe, and I say to you that it is true. He loves me. I was created by love, not only to be loved, but to give love.
Yeah.
The
Come on,
essence
girl.
of me being created is love. Do
Yeah.
you understand me?
Yeah.
And so there are times when you go through trials and tribulations and you forget that love is your existence. So I never stop being who I am. I am Regina Platt, the stepologist. And when we talk about stepology, we talk about grabbing hold of your reality, your steps, your moments, your decisions, your creations. And sometimes it's so easy to become limited by isolation and all the confusion of things that were once spoken over you by others who do not even know you. It is you that is the truth. It is you that breathes and is living proof that your reality allows solutions to be ignited. And I want you today to scream out that I am excited because love is me and I am love. And fluently I flow. Because from above, all the essence that comes down into me transforms anything that they said I would never be.
Yes, come on, girl.
I am somebody. I need you to step into yourself and say that out loud right now, wherever you are. I am somebody.
I am somebody.
Somebody I am.
Somebody I am.
Somebody to be.
Somebody to be.
Somebody better than me.
Somebody better than me.
Every day I wake up because love is on my side. It's in me. Didn't I tell you love is in you? Didn't I tell you you were created by love? That means every day I wake up full of fire. Are you full of fire right now?
Yeah.
Every day I wake up ready to take hold of this life because it is only life because I chose to get up. See, we have all been at a point in our lives where you felt like I could never get up. I'm talking about you've been part of systems that told you you don't even fit in. You've been part of relationships that told you you would never win. But on today, say, I got up.
I got up.
See, when you got up, you were able to receive a word. Not only did you get up, you got online. You got online. You got in a space and in a place where you could be ignited, where you could be transitioned out of your old and into your new. So on today, I want you to know that you were created by love to be loved and give love. As I went down the path of learning to love me, right? I was standing in spaces with people that didn't even want me to be there. But as I went down the path of learning to love me, the one thing I remembered is I had to breathe. See, once I learned that I had to breathe, something in me woke up. I had to breathe. I had to take a breath, because when I was not breathing, all I was doing was reacting. I was reacting to everything they had shown me, everything they had gave me, but I had to breathe. Why? Because when I breathed, I could touch me. I could feel me. I could receive me. And my heart was speaking to me in those moments and in those spaces where I just took a moment and one breath, one moment, one step, one creation, one decision, one relationship closer to connecting with everything that was bursting in me. I can be called the stepologist because you see me, baby. You see me, right? When I speak, you breathe in all the essence and the truth of me. There is not a room I can walk into that they cannot say I was there, because you know I was there when I show up. You see me, don't you? The other part about being there, I said, when the songstress sings, she said, he loves me. It's special, different. She had to realize that she was someone to be loved. He loves me different because I know what love is. I knew what love was before I arrived in the presence with him, because I was created by love, baby, to be loved and give love. So he loves me. Oh my goodness, he loves me. Did y'all see that? He loves me. But first it was, she loves me. It's special, different. 2 weeks ago, looking in the mirror, I told everybody, and beauty is her name. See, I could name her beauty because I first loved her. I seen her. I received her. Are you seeing you? Straight face on you. Are you seeing you? Are you waiting for somebody else to see you? Your first job is to see you. If you see you, you can love you, you can touch you, you can transform you, you can transcend you. But if you ain't seen you, baby, you can't become the true you. Can you see you?
Come on, girl.
As Gideon was down in the wine press and he was there, and the angel came beside him and called him a man of valor. He did not yet know who he was, but when he began to ask the right questions, he could receive the right responses from the atmosphere that he was operating in. Do you see you? As Mary, the angel came to Mary and told her that she would become pregnant with fullness, with greatness, with a savior. Are y'all hearing me? She had to first know that she was somebody so that she could create somebody. And we got a generation right now that needs a great breakthrough. And are you willing to see you?
Yes, come on, girl.
Can you see you? Because see, when I'm taking that long walk, let's take a long walk all around the park after dark. When I'm taking that long walk, I know I'm safe because I know me, I see me, I receive me. Not only that, I connect to me. And so everybody that comes in contact with me, I can pour out everything of every bit of greatness that's in me upon them because I am somebody. Who did I tell you you were? See, love is something that sparks you into something. It shifts you into something a little different than you've been doing. On September the 15th, we step into a new year at 6 p.m. This will be the new year, the year of open doors. Some of y'all don't know about Rosh Hashanah, but I do, baby. I get a pre-new year, right? And in a pre-new year, because I love me so much, I'm in preparation. Do y'all understand me? September is a month of 3 in high holy days, 3 in high holy markings, 3 shifts for you. And I tell you, I don't want you to walk out of this season in this day at this time and lose out. Do you love you?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you love you?
Yes,
Don't lose out. Don't lose out. See, September the 15th, you walk in at 6 p.m. into a new year. Say it's a new year.
It's a new year.
Say it's a new season.
It's a new season.
Say it's a new day.
It's a new day.
Where I've been, I don't have to remain. I'm going somewhere. Say I'm going somewhere.
You're going somewhere.
I need you to know you're going somewhere. You're not no longer remaining where they told you had to be. You going somewhere. You're not going back to lockup. You're going somewhere. You're not going back to drug addiction and alcohol addiction. You're going somewhere. You're not stepping back into abuse. You're going somewhere. You're not going into serving somebody else when God gave you a business suit. Say, I'm going somewhere.
I'm going somewhere.
See, we're not going into lack because we're taking it all back. Say, I'm going somewhere.
I'm going somewhere.
See, when I step into this new season in my new day this year of open doors, if I don't love me, I can't walk through the door. There's a door that's not only just going to open with a peep, it's swinging open for you, but it is your perspective that has to shift. It is your perspective that has to shift. Do you love you?
Yes.
See, if I love me, I can be selfless. If I love me, I can begin to work on my body. I tell y'all, there's a people that you're saying you love you and you're buying everyone else's product and you're spending time focused on everybody else's breakthrough. But I need you to see you too. There's a boy or a girl inside of you who's screaming, help me transform this. Help me take hold of this. Help me take my next step. I know the next would be my best. But I remember a season where I was laying in my bed. Have you ever been laying in your bed and you couldn't move? Yes. Have you ever been laying in your bed where you felt like the breath was being knocked out of you? But in this season, that is your no more, because now you're going to stand. Say, stand up.
Stand up.
Sometimes it sounds like I'm yelling, y'all, but that's because I'm full of this passion,
baby.
Because I know what it's like when I couldn't stand up. I know what it was like when I couldn't step forward. I know what it was like when I felt like my heart couldn't heal. Say, I'm healing today.
I'm healing today.
See, the reason I'm healing today is because my new season is here.
Yes.
My new season is here. My increase is here. My breakthrough is here. Why is it here? Because first, I'm going in. I'm going in. I'm stepping in so I can win. I'm stepping in so I can win. I'm identifying that hurted when I felt that. It hurted when I felt that. But what you gonna do with it? What's your end in this season? What's your end in this season? It hurt and they broke my heart and they left me and the job ended and come on, what you gonna do? What's your end? What's your end? Right now, I need you to write it down somewhere. Say, what's your end right now? It hurt and what you doing? You feeling it right now. It hurt and I will be healed. The doctor said, but God, and I will be healed. Come on. They took the house and I will have another one. Come on, they took the job and I will have another one. The husband left and I will have another one. Y'all, I just claimed it. I just spoke on myself. I said I didn't want no other man. I didn't want no other man. I was gonna be all right being by myself. I said I just she tricked me. I just activate my life. I just activated my life, y'all. She just tricked me. I just said I'm gonna get a man. I want y'all to laugh at that. I want y'all to laugh. Just laugh at home.
Nope.
I said I'm gonna get a man. Now you may want to get a woman, bro. You may want to get a woman, you know. But I'm going to get my husband, you know, I'm just going to activate that now, right? Yes. Now, when we come back here next year and y'all see I'm married now, you know I ain't married to anybody or anything because I was created by love to be loved and give love. So if he is not the full essence of love, stay away.
Yep.
You got me? All right, so I get real hype, y'all. Y'all see that? I get real hype. Real hype, right? And that's the stepologist, right? I come in sometimes. Part of love was me beginning to flow as me. It was me taking off masks. It was me being loud when I needed to be loud, right? It was me being goofy when I needed to be goofy, right? It was me having to move. Y'all, the last spot I was in some workout clothes on stage giving a presentation, y'all. And we was juking, baby. Have you ever juked before? You know what juking looked like? You had all this chocolate, these antioxidants, and they was just moving, baby. Have you ever just got to the point where you wanted to see love is rejoicing? I was created by a God that has so much joy packed up in him that he filled me with that joy, right? And so people be like, you look so serious. Oh, you're so mean. Oh, she's just stop trying to put a label on me, baby. Yeah. I'm looking it all out though, baby. Everybody in this space today, if you don't know me, you know me now, Sugar. We is family, Sugar. We is family. I'ma tell you. I am loved You are loved. I didn't get on here today to do presentations that I normally do or do. I have kingdom lessons, release blessings. I'm goofy on there. If you call me up to the altar, I'm goofy at the altar. I'm just gonna tell you, I'm in a season where I have chosen to flow. My God.
Yeah, we just keep going.
My God, I'm gonna tell y'all what just happened, right? It was a destructive distraction that came through, and it reminded me that I am in a season where I just flow.
Yes.
I'm in a season where I had to let go and I flow. So creativity is what I breathe, and creativity. You were created to work, and when you are working, you connect to others that are working, and it begins this flow that opens you up to more. Never allow yourself to get stunted just because they're relationships that were friendships from childhood or it was family. Your job is not to be stunted. You want love, be loved.
Yes.
You want love, be loved. In the moments that you be the truest you are the moments that you receive the most from you. You want love, be loved. So again, I would say to you, it was only 3 droppers I wanted you to get. I was created by love, to be loved, and give love. And I'll tell you, if you stick to that algorithm, you will always be an affluent flavor of love.
Yes.
You're favored and you're prepared for this. Step back and allow your heart to be touched by you before you allow anybody else to put their hands on your heart. Because if they're broken, they're going to give you their brokenness. But if you are whole, you're able to share your wholeness with people when you come in contact with them. If your heart is healed, he's able to connect, or she's able, or they're able to connect to a healed heart. But if you're broken, you become somebody's residue. What type of residue you want to be? So I tell you in this season, again, I'll say to you, you were created by love, to be loved and give love. And I am Dr. Regina Platt, the stepologist. And I have all the love you need, baby. Come on, baby. I told y'all that. Let's take.
Well, thank you, Regina, for being goofy. Thank you for being you. We love you for who you are. We love you for your authenticity.
And that energy.
The energy, it's all there. She's on a mission, and that's something that I've admired. I met her early on to Activate Your Power Now while this was unfolding with James and I. And you knew she had that special anointing because she has a way to see you and see you through your purpose, not where you're at.
Each step.
And she called me out on that the first day we met. And not only did she call me out the first time she met me, that was the first time she met my husband. And guess what she did? Pulled him to the hallway and called him out. Then caught us together at the end of the conference and pulled us both together aside and then bridged everything she said to me, bridged everything she said to him, and said, okay, now it's been bestowed onto you guys. What are you going to do with it?
I want to say this part.
Yeah.
Some have been given a gift of prophecy where you're supposed to speak a word to people, and you're holding their word back because you're scared that if you give the word, what their response is going to be of the word. And some of you, it's not only that, you're in your flesh. And you want to give them the word so you'll look good. So you only want to give a good word. But with that ability and that gift that's being bestowed upon you, your job is to give the word that God gave you to give them as the Holy Spirit speaks to you. Your job is not to speak after that point. Your job is not to share that with other people and take responsibility. It's not about you.
Right.
It's about what God is giving them. And so allow God to get the glory as they get the breakthrough.
Right.
Amen.
I love that. And thank you for that. Thank you for being you. Thank you for having that connection to source, because it takes a practice. We all have source within us, but to be in that divine connection, it requires the pause, the intentional breath, the intentional opening your mouth when you don't know why you're opening it, but you feel spirit flowing through you, so you just have nothing but trust. So I thank you for that, because that has awakening something within both Dave and I. And I have to say, you know, there's been many people after you that have placed those same words onto us, but you saw it and you spoke it immediately. So some of those people that are speaking it now were in the same room that day. It doesn't mean they got the message that day, right? It's not a diss to nobody. It's just I just value so much the process of divinity, and when people are willing to step into it unapologetically, because we do get called wacky, we do get called weird, too sensitive, over caring, over loving, over whatever. And again, I learned that everything you say about me is just how you feel about you.
Right.
Because Regina saw something bigger than all those things in me when I didn't even have an understanding of them.
The law first mentioned.
So I thank you again. I want you to mention again your morning 7:30 a.m. Live that you do, and also your event coming up in October.
So I'll give you a little bit of love. First off, I want to honor her because everyone doesn't receive the message. So you and your husband both receive the message, and I honor you for that because I'm seeing the fruits of it. God is blessing you, but can people see the fruits, right? If you have faith, can people see the fruits? If you're obedient, can people see the fruit? And sometimes people have no fruit. So that means that's a dead fig tree, and that means eventually the fig tree got to be cut off, right? It got to be cut down. And so instead of being cut down, you're growing, right? Because you have faith. And so Monday through Friday, Kingdom Lessons, Release Blessings is a broadcast that is released on my Facebook page, YouTube, and I go between LinkedIn, Twitter, and a few others. But I would say to you, we're consistently going live. So look up Kingdom Lessons, Release Blessings. I want to empower you. It's about being a bridge. Like the kingdom citizens are needing that connection and need to know that there's power in who we are. But if you're scared to look within the body, don't get mad because you found a mess outside the body. You'll get that later on for those of you that need it. And the other part is I want to say to you is in October 21st in Topeka, Kansas, I will be having my second masterclass. I need y'all to clap for that, baby. So the second masterclass, 5 powerful speakers, professionals. We're not going to get anybody. This is about, you will be graced, but this is, if you're in the world, if you're outside the world, whoever you are, if you need a breakthrough, a release, if you need to level up your career path, come step in. This is 5 times 5. Everything's about grace in this number. So 5 times 5, 25. This time you'll be paying 25 for your interest fee. This provides for those, like our speakers are coming through, the DJ, the building rental, the food, everything that's going down. You'll get your release in that space. Bring somebody else. Kids come in free. So any young person that you bring into this space, it is free. This is of no charge to you. The other factor is if I believe that it is a season for us to level up, I have to open the door for the level up to happen, right? Exactly. And so in December as well, I'll be doing a virtual summit. It will be called Catapult, 48 hours of power. And in that piece, again, we will have professionals who are trained and developed coming in to do the work. That will be a free virtual summit that will be going out. And so I am on the move to do the work as the bridge, right? As the bridge, you do the work to enlighten others who are stepping into their rhythm. And so I give that access to others. So I thank you all for allowing me to hold space here with you today. But I look forward to you joining me. If you would like to come in for an interview, please inbox me. I am Regina Platt, the stepologist. Inbox me and we can set you up because I would love to get you on the calendar for an interview.
Thank you. All right, well, we're gonna test the camera real quick because you know, we got a queen coming up. We got a queen. So just excuse me real quick, all of you online. I know the camera's going a little goofy on you. She comes with a lot of passion, just like Regina. And she needs to stand when she talks, and we're going to be happy she did because she's about to bring it. So our next speaker is the one and only Evie Bowen, the healer of queens. And I have to just say that Evie, we actually also, I like to give a little tidbit of how I know the people that are coming on the stage and stuff. And I haven't given you your flowers as you deserve them for how you've served in our platform. So I met Evie, we started Activate Your Power Now December of 2021. We hosted our first event not knowing it was going to be an actual ongoing series and that it was going to touch so many people. It was actually a graduation assignment for a speakers academy that James Love and I, along with many other speakers on the platform, were in. Well, it was through the connection of that class that we went to meditation circle, Winter Solace. And it was my first time experiencing anything like that. And first of all, the experience was beautiful. I've got to experience other ones like that since. Two, we just met so many amazing people there, and Evie was one of the people. And immediately after that meditation circle, we talked outside, and there was just this connection. And we didn't know anything about each other's lives other than what we had just shared in that circle. But we knew there was this connection, and she just put it out there to James and I, like, I would love to be a part of what you guys are doing. I just feel this this calling that I have something to contribute to what you guys are doing. And she wasn't even, I don't think, exactly sure yet either, just like us. It was like Spirit was just calling us to step forward, and we couldn't explain why. And I feel like we still have some attachments of, not me, not me, surely not me. They don't know where I come from. They don't know what I've done, what I've been through. It can't be me that he's calling. And in those insecurities, right, there were the unspoken insecurities. We never actually said that to each other because we're on a healing path. We're intentional about what we're declaring. But there was that little bit, I think, that just was there for both of us. And right along with us, I feel like she's probably, I haven't counted, but I want to just go ahead and, it's safe to say, she's our most consistent speaker on the platform. I don't think we've had anybody come on stage as many times as she has. And it's because she was serious. I mean, plain and simple, that's what I realized really quick.
She's dope.
She was serious in her calling. She meant what she was pouring out. She meant every single piece of it. And with her sharing her truth throughout the last year and a half on the platform, she's been able to help me unpeel layer after layer after layer, because although I learned to love myself, I learned to honor myself, although I learned to what I said earlier, value myself, right? Because that was the next steps of learning to love myself truly, authentically, the way God wants me to love myself.
That's right.
But the part I lacked, the missing piece that I had, was to put that crown on my head. And when she declared to me, she said, I am the healer of queens. I was like, I'm a queen.
That's it.
I'm a queen and I'm healing. I was like, I need you in my life. And I absolutely have needed you in my life. And I'm so grateful I've had you, because I have been able to step into my queenhood. And that means not only do I love myself, I love and trust myself enough to step out with a crown on my head and serve the world. So thank you, Evie, for helping me with that. And please step up with me. I want to make sure the camera's good for you before I walk away. So I'm gonna go ahead and let her take over. I think the camera looks good.
It looks good. I'm
All right, let's do it.
Hello, everybody. How is everyone?
Good.
Good? Are we just good?
Yes.
Okay, we great. Okay.
I'm happy.
I'm about to say, because when I'm looking out into the audience, I see a lot of crowns. Do you see your shine, or is it just me?
Ooh, I see
Everybody
everybody.
else?
I see my
Okay, I'm just checking.
Right.
I see a
Better
lot
put
of
your
people.
glasses on.
I'm just saying, I mean, they on, and they got all the colors. direction. Let's go with this. All right. So when we talk about happiness, happiness is defined as the state of being. That's it. You go to Webster and you see all these different things, and there's a million different reasons. But the happiness, when you look it up, is the state of being. So when you're unhappy, what state are you being? When you're sad, what state are you being? When you're upset, when you're hurting, when you're depressed, when you're suicidal, what state are you being? Because happiness is very simple. It's the state of being. If I decided I'm going to be happy, then my state of being should be consistent. If you see me in the street and I look like I'm not who I represent behind this camera, then apparently my state of being is misstated. If my direction is misunderstood, if I've decided that whatever state I'm in is not consistent, then all you are seeing is falsity of the state that I decided to be in that day. I have no right to change my state. You see, he woke me up this morning, so the decision was already made. He told me to put my clothes on. The decision was already made. Happiness was already decided. I showed up. My body's hurting. Regina and I, we discuss it. Oh, pain is all over. It's the state of being.
Yeah, come on.
I decided the pain just didn't have time for it. I don't have time to stay down when my job is up.
Come on, man.
He stayed. When people talk about Christ and they talk about him being crucified, it was funny to me when I listen to people and they talk about the crucifixion and they talk about how he sat there for 3 days and they talk about how long he was on the cross. You know what was funny is every single disciple was gone, but the women stayed.
Come on.
So every disciple had already left. He'd been hanging. He'd already said it's done. He had already said, forgive them. The state of being and the forgiveness that he had already poured out. He had already punctured his side. There was already living water. And yet who was left to remain were the women. The first that saw the resurrection was the women. See, they had to go tell the men. He didn't leave any of the disciples to run through that because, see, in those last few months, the disciples started to waver just a smidge. See, when they came for Jesus, Peter cut off an ear. What did he say to Peter? He said, oh, man, dang, that's good. I have my back. No, he said, get thee behind me. Because what you're doing is getting in the way of the state of being. I got something to do. I have someone to save. I have happiness to provide. I have lives to do. I have things to do. If you don't go on somewhere, Peter, because you're not standing up for me, you're projecting off of you. See? We haven't got to that place where happiness has become so about someone else. See, I'm only happy if I'm in a relationship. I'm only happy if I'm taking care of my kids. I'm only happy if my bills are paid. Why is your happiness so transitional? Why does your happiness always reside outside of you? So when those kids are grown, are you not gonna be happy?
Wow.
When that man is gone, you're not gonna be happy? When that marriage is over, you're not gonna be happy? So your happiness was already wrapped up in something that was already outside of you and decided that since the happiness resided outside of you, the one that's in you must not make you happy. So the one who lives in you, the Holy Spirit, the God of all, he ain't good enough to make you happy. No, my happiness has to be what I have, the job I own, the places I be, and the other job can fire you today. Are you not gonna be happy? The man can leave you today. You're not gonna be happy. He can get you pregnant and leave you a seed. You're not gonna be happy. You can have a woman who tells you and does all these things to you and then says, but I love you. That's happy. If I have to settle for you, then I've already given you more than you deserve. So if I have to sit down with you and decide that you are all that makes me happy, then I'm already misrepresenting who told me who I was. See, my shirt says faith, and it's not faith because it goes across, it's faith because it is a cross. You understand? So my faith has to be a part of who is for me, who is with me. See, the faith has to reside not only in you, but over you. You understand? So here we are, we don't believe enough. We don't see enough, we don't know enough, we don't hear enough, but happiness has to be something else. See, back here it says our happy place. Where's your happy place? And does it reside outside of you? Can your happy be found in you?
Yes, come on, sis.
Probably not. You see, because we've decided that everything we see on TV, the sexy commercials, well, if I'm not that thin, I can't be happy. If I don't have the fake boobs and the butt that clearly can't, you got to pay for 2 seats, but it's fine. But that's what you paid for, to be happy. Right.
Come on,
The men who go out and leave the woman they've been with. She done put the work in, and then but she looks good on my arm, so I should go get a trophy because everything outside of me is only coming out of her. Right. We don't get that part. We don't understand that part. We get to church and we giving out meals to the single brothers, the reverends, and why you feeding him and you ain't fed you? Why you giving more to this man because you want to collect him? Right? Because everybody wants to be a preacher's wife. Everybody wants to be a preacher's husband. Why? Why do we want to do that? Because my title that you give me will lead to the happiness that I can't find in me. Is that what we doing? See, I'm a preacher's kid, so I already know. I have plenty of ministers coming my way. The problem is that from Genesis to Revelations, I couldn't find your loyalty, you see. But I could find you smack dab in the middle where Paul was coming. We keep on getting ourselves into situations where, yes, I'm the healer of queens, because so many women have decided they were worth only as good as what they were on their back. They decided that if he doesn't make me significant, I am insignificant in me. If she doesn't believe enough, if my friends don't think I'm the stuff, if I can't be the life of the party, then I'm nothing. You decided as a woman that I'm only as good as what I leave behind. Why is that okay? Anybody that's ever been with me, guess what? If you didn't make it this far, then I give you my condolences because you loving after somebody that's already gone. This version of me deserves exactly what Regina just said. She said, if he can't even come, don't even come my way. Don't even put in an application because the job listing is made it between Genesis and Revelations. And so if you only gonna stop, and Matthew, don't follow me.
Don't follow me. Come on.
If you only gonna get as far as don't come, I need you to make it all the way to Revelation. I need you to know it backwards and forwards. I need you to understand who I serve. So that when you standing next to me, we serve. Right. But if all you gonna do is come in here and say, but you look good next to me. Right. I look good next to anything I stand with. You want to stand here and you want to say that we should do this and we should do that. Okay. Well, I always show up with my own fees. You see, because I never want you to think that you have to pay my way.
Yeah.
You have to earn your way. There's a difference.
Big difference.
So I can pay for me. I can feed me. I can take me out. I can show up for me. What can you do to add to me?
Amen.
So if all you are is a subtraction, then my goodness, Lord, I can't be in debt behind you if I wasn't debt before you. That's the problem that we don't seem to understand. We are so quick to push to be somebody's something. We are bred as children. You got to grow up. You got to have the best job. You got to have the nice cars because you want everybody to pay attention to you. You got to have the money. You got to have all these things. And you know what? I have a friend that's in the funeral business. And I asked him a question one time. I said, so how can you tell who the rich ones are and who the poor ones were? He said, I don't know. It's a box. You spend your whole life to end up in a box trying to be better than somebody in the box next to you.
Come on, girl.
I don't know what special dirt the rich get or what special flowers they must have.
That's
but
your worm.
at the end of the day, it's a box. Yes. So then I have to do everything I'm supposed to do to show you whose I am and who I am while I'm standing on this surface. Because when I'm in the box, it don't matter. If I didn't leave you enough of me by here, then I didn't do what I was supposed to do while I was here. The end game is happiness is a state of being. What will you be before the box? Will you ever find happiness before the box? Or are you waiting to get to heaven to see how big your wings are so you can compare them to somebody else? Are you upset because you may not have the mansion that's got the gold and what are you waiting on to be happy? What is the state that you're in? Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things. Not a few things, maybe a couple things. No, he said all things before the box. The strength that's in me. Faith. So in the box, this, I done already earned. In the box, this has already been pushed out. In the box, it doesn't matter anymore. Philippians 4:13 is not, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And people just say that, but they don't read the whole thing. See, it's a letter of thank you from somebody who's in prison, thankful for happiness in that being. I'm in jail where all kinds of things are happening to me. That was Paul. And he wrote a letter to the churches in Philippians and said, thank you for having my back when somebody didn't see me being for him. Thank you for having my back even though they took my life. They took my freedom. They took my ability. They didn't take my mouth or my pen.
Yes.
See, Paul, what they didn't take from Paul is his joy.
Yes.
It's his happiness. See, it was a state of being. I can't imagine being in a jail cell back in that time. Has anybody ever watched Game of Thrones? Them cells don't look nice. But there he was, thanking people with his pen before he got in that box. Thanking people, Philippians. And you know what's funny? The same Bible that you read every day, Paul wrote that. A lot of it from a cell. Because his state of being was the joy he found. What joy have you found? What happiness have you found? What did you do today? What state of being are you in? Did you decide my faith ain't enough? Did you decide I wasn't enough? People say I come in the room and I'm so bright. I wear bright colors not because I want to minimize me, because you ain't gonna miss me. You ain't gonna miss me. Because what he's done for me is too big. I want you to, you know what that? I want you to come talk to me. I want you to come see me so I can tell you what he's capable of.
Yes, sir.
As Izzy said, I didn't think I should be talking about anything. You see, what I come from, there's a lot of shame attached to who I am. There's a lot of unforgiveness attached to who I am. There's a lot of manipulation attached to who I am. Anger, hurt, I could pull all of those, but in my state of being, none of those seem to matter because I chose happiness.
That's right. That's
I
right.
chose to get up. I chose to fight up. I chose happiness. I chose that every day that I thought that my life wasn't good enough and I was willing to take it, God told me it wasn't mine to take. How you gonna take a life that's not yours to take? I wanted to kill myself because of who I believe myself to be. Because the state of other people was the state of me. I didn't allow the state of happiness because I assumed I deserved what was coming to me. Because someone had my mind convinced that I could never be more than what they said I was. And yet, if you take that mindset that you can never be more than what somebody said you were, so shouldn't the one person's definition of you should be God's? Maybe you ought to work on the one who said you was because he made you who you was.
Right.
And he became what you are. I can't be nothing without him. So maybe his definition ought to be the one I'm using. Instead of the state of being in the world that can't seem to be itself either.
Right.
The world that we're all just mechanically. I'm not shocked about AI. We've already been robots anyway.
There it is.
What's the difference of putting some?
Yes.
I mean, we've all become robotic. Every commercial. Budweiser is only as big as their commercials, right? Everything we see on TV is only as good. I'm just saying. What have we done in the state that you're in to decide that I already am on the winning team? Why am I walk around like a loser?
Right.
I won. My captain
Yes.
already won. The book is already written.
Yes.
I already won. I'm on a team that can't be beat.
That's right.
Yes.
And yet I walk around thinking I lost something.
Right.
The only thing I lost was the versions of me that the Lord and the devil
Amen.
and everybody else who thought that the only things I lost was the loss that what people thought about me.
Yeah.
I only lost what you think of me. Well, think on. Because your mindset about me will change if you took the time to know me.
Right.
But if you haven't known me and you already have an idea about me, I don't care.
Right.
Because what you did is you chose to see what you thought,
Right.
believe what you want,
Yeah.
and decided who I am.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but if it ain't Webster's, your definition don't matter. So all I know is Happiness is a state of being. Philippians 4:13 is about strength. And everything from Genesis to Revelation is a workbook for us to figure it out. But what I do know is this. If you don't remember your crown is on, how do you know you're a child of the King?
Amen.
Woo, woo. Okay, well, thank you, Evie. I told you she's gonna bring it. And who is it on the BTB Wife platform that introduces you to yourself? Saucony Prince. I feel like Evie, you're another one of those, Evie, that helps introduce us to ourselves. And I thank you for that. You have a special way of touching all of us and pouring into everybody. My question for you now, with all that being said that Evie just came up and gave you, is you've heard this from me before a couple times on stage, but do you really believe what you really believe is really true? Like, I need you to really sit down with that question. Do you really believe that what you really believe is really true? Your state of happiness will show it. Okay? Because you can't be in God purpose. You can't say that I have God in me and I believe God is all things and God is love and God is this. And like Evie said, you're walking around in defeat. That's an oxymoron. They don't go together. I don't care how much you try to put them together, they don't. And it's not judgment, it's acknowledgement. That's why we pose these questions to you. It's acknowledgement, because acknowledgement freed me. I had to acknowledge first how much I believed in what I claimed I believed in. And once I acknowledged it, I got to do something tangible with it. Something that I can see, something that people could see. I got to take the next best step. And my life showed that I was believing what I believed, because I'm surrounded by love. I'm surrounded by peace. I'm surrounded by all the things that I claim to believe in. Now the universe is bringing it to me because I finally decided to start believing in what I said I believed in. So real quick, this is the end. We've come to the end. I thank everybody for tuning in. But before we leave, I really want to bring someone special up, Coffee Cup Chuck. And he's another person that I just really want to give thanks to. And I want you to say whatever it is that you want to say. We do have some time. But I just want to bring up, this is a perfect example of true happiness and serving in purpose, because all of us that are here pouring into you and showing up every month and everything, it's not because our lives are perfect. It's not because everything is going our way. It's not because our hearts aren't breaking some days and we're having to watch loved ones go through really hard things. But I know what you're going through. And you still chose to show up today to get poured into on true happiness. Can you give us a little bit of why that was important to you today? Because it's like I said, knowing what you're going through, it's just a true testament of how you maintain peace in your world, even when it's falling apart. So if you would just grace the people with a little bit of your Coffee Cup Chuck.
What's good, people? It's your boy, Coffee Cup Chuck. And yeah, so recently, my mom, she has COPD, and a lot of her organs is like shutting down on her. About a month ago, she pretty much slipped away. So every time she inhales and she exhales, the CO2 in her lungs, it doesn't all come out. So they have to force it out. And your levels in your lungs, your CO2 levels should be at about 30 to 35%. Well, hers was at 121.
Wow.
And they took her in the hospital, and the doctors was telling us, get yourself together, y'all. you guys got to make some decisions because she has a do not resuscitate, and you know, if something happens, we can't bring her back. So you're faced with a whole bunch of emotions that just hit you at the same time, because now you're starting to realize that every single person that you love, every single person that you care about will one day leave you, because we can't stay in this place. So now I have to realize that. So now is the time that I have to, because I don't know if I'm gonna leave my mom, I have to hold her hand by her bedside when she's got this EPAP machine blowing air in her lungs, and just blowing air, and she can, she's not even conscious. She doesn't even hear me or know what, well, I can't say she can't hear me, but she can't respond to anything. So I'm holding her hand, and I get to tell her all of the things that I was thankful for her. How without her, I wouldn't know how to love. Without her, I wouldn't know how to keep going. Without her, I wouldn't know how to continue on surviving, even after I stumble once and twice, and all of the continuous times that I stumbled in my life. And some of my stumbles were big stumbles, but she was the one who taught me how to keep going. And to watch your loved one lay in the bed like that, slowly slipping away from you, it brings a lot out of you. So I had one of those moments a couple weeks ago where I had to pour every ounce of love that I had inside of my heart for this woman. Later on, I found out she bounced out of that. No way possible she should have been able to recover as easy and as fast as she was able to recover from stage 4 COPD. Stage 4. And she bounced back. 5 hours later, you know, I walked into this room, and when I walked into this hospital room, she was sitting up in a chair. 5 hours later. And she told me, she heard every word I said.
Yeah.
And she told me she wasn't ready to leave because she know we still need her. But the story ain't over. You see, a couple weeks later, the same thing happened again. And this was just maybe 5-6 days ago. Same thing. This time it was worse. So we were facing the roller coaster of emotions again. Now we have to go through the same thing again. And I found myself by her bedside again, holding her hand. Mom, I love you so much. When all of our dads ran out on us and everybody else in our life took off, you stayed. And was it hard love? Most of the times, yes, it was. But it was love. And love is crazy. We all know how crazy love can get, because it's good love, it's bad love, it's hard love, it's easy love, it's so many different kinds of love. Well, this woman loved me to my success. She loved me to where I was able to become something because she never gave up on me. So I didn't give up on her. I was right there,
Amen.
holding her hand again,
Good son.
telling her how much I loved her.
Good son.
And you know what? I left the room because it was torturous. Seeing your mom passing you, you're not wanting to leave her side, but it's torturing you because you're watching her uncomfortable. You can't help her. You can't do anything for her. So I got up and I said, I got to take a break. So I left for that night. And I came back the next day. And as I was creeping up on the nurse that took care of the 2 rooms between where she was at, looked over her shoulder, and I asked the lady, how's she doing? And she pointed in the room because the curtain was half open to the window where her desk was sitting. And I look in there, and my mom, who was not even 24 hours ago rushed back on her EPAP machine because her oxygen level dropped all the way back down to 42. She was in there pouring milk in her cup. And I walked in the room, and I remember the day before I left, and I want to get this point out because the doctors, they're not God.
Right.
You see, doctors ain't God. They're not. And God said it ain't time for her to go. So the doctors in the room that day was telling us, all in the room with my mom sitting in the bed, you know, that again, if we didn't have a chaplain, we might want to get one together. If we didn't have the family in town, we might want to round everybody up again because, you know, people might want to say things before anything happens. They weren't saying she was passing, but they were saying you probably need to get ready. And I told the doctor, I said, listen, you're standing here talking like she isn't here and she don't hear what you're saying. She hears everything you're saying. And I know this now because the last time this happened, she understood clearly. She couldn't talk because, like I said, air was being forced into her body. But she can look. And I told the doctor, I said, listen, she understands everything you're saying because she got 2 boys in this room that she loved. And she looking at us profusely because she ain't trying to leave us. So she understands what you're saying. So if you have anything you want to ask, just ask her. The doctor told me, nah. She's kind of, you know, she might understand a little bit, but she doesn't really understand. And I looked at my mom, and my mom was looking at me like. And then I told the doctor to look at her. You see that? And the doctor looked at her, and she looked away from the doctor. So, like I said, the next day I walked in the room. After all of this, watching this lady go through all of this pain, all of this suffering, thinking that this was it, not wanting to see it, I walked in the room and this woman was in there pouring milk. So love, because love is strong.
Yes, sir.
Love is strong. You know, we talked today about loving within and loving yourself and loving this, but guess what? There's also love outside of that, a lot of it. And pouring love into people when they really need it, that gives them so much more strength. Yeah. To do what they need to do to get back where they need to get. So be somebody's light. Be somebody's light. When that flame won't light for somebody else, you just take your light and you ignite that thing.
Come on, brother. Come on.
You know. And this is what Activate Your Power is about. Getting yourselves activated, but also helping other people activate themselves.
Yes, yes.
So if you don't take nothing from my message today, you love yourself, but you also remember to love other people. It's your boy, Coffee Cup Chuck. Thank you for hanging out with us for a powerful message. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Please trust in God always. He has a plan and you have a purpose.
Yes, sir.
Stay positive, people.
Yes. Thank you. I'm trying to trick people over here. Thank you for sharing that. I wasn't sure how much you'd be willing to share. I didn't expect you to share anything, but I believe someone needed to hear it too. And I believe there's so much to be gained from that story on true happiness on both sides. Because one thing I want to say about true happiness, again, find a process that works for you. Regina has her morning, 7:30 a.m. That keeps her in gratitude. That keeps her acknowledging all the things that are to be grateful for in a state of happiness. So she could be deep rooted in that happiness, go out, encounter the world, but stay firmly in her truths because she has a practice. Chuck, Coffee Cup Chuck, he every morning utilizes the fact that he struggles in getting a full night's sleep. So he doesn't find it as a crutch. He uses that extra time in the morning that he's already awake to give positive messages out to the world. And the fact that he has a process, and his process is to stay positive people. When he's affirming that to you guys, he's affirming that to himself. Right. So regardless of what he's encountering, he has a practice. That positivity allows him to stay deep rooted in true happiness.
Yes.
On the flip side of that, because you're having your practice and you're showing up in the world that way, his mom twice was sparked in love, and the healing energy overtook her, and she got that burst, right? That divine burst. That's a testament of true deep-rooted happiness, because you sparked it in her. She didn't know she had it anymore, but you sparked, and it was that deep-rooted true happiness that emerged and gave her a reason again, that contentness, that desire, that to want to be here, if not for yourself, for someone else, because they showed you what you mean to them. So I just want to challenge everybody. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. And I want to challenge everybody to pause, to breathe, and do it as many times as you need to until you hear Spirit, Holy Spirit, guiding that next best step. And if you have any questions and you don't know where to go on this journey, anybody on the Activate Your Power Now platform is here to be a listening ear, a safe place, or to help pour into you as well. So please just reach out to anybody that you connect and resonate with, and we'll be happy to have a talk with you and see what we could do to help you gain that understanding of yourself, right? To take that journey within. And I'm going to do a quick plug, and then we're going to be done. The Activate Your Power Now workshop, the Power Path Process workshop, where we will dive deep into that daily practice of knowing who you are and why. And then once you figure that out, releasing what no longer serves you as who you are. And then the building stage. And after we build and fill that space that now you've made extra space for, we need to fill the voids with productive things. The last phase of our workshop will be then the divine servancy. Once you figure all that out, who you are and why, figure out what you're passionate about, now it's time to go use that divine purpose and passion to serve the world. And it all comes naturally, trust me. You don't have to even put too much thought into it, just show up. So you're going to start getting emails from me. If you want to receive the email on this workshop, 2-part workshop, September 30th and November 2nd, please shoot me your email. All the speakers that you saw here today will have a piece in that workshop. So if you like what you heard, you're going to get a lot deeper into their message, and they're going to help you with your Power Path process. So it's Izzy the Intentional Healer. Have a beautiful weekend, and